Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Mostly Ballin podcast. Today I am joined by WSLB guard Taylor O'Brien from the Essex Rebels. Taylor, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Of
It's going to be a
course.
good episode, I'm
Thank
sure.
you for having me.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. So obviously I invited you on, and over the last few days I've been doing my research as to yourself as a player. And it all started in Florida State, if I'm correct. So why don't we start all the way back there and you tell us how things got started?
Okay. Well, I did go to Florida State for a year, so I did my grad year at Florida State, but I went to Bucknell for 4 years before that. So I was there and I um, played at Bucknell. I was a shooting guard for the past 4 years there, and ended up playing through COVID, through all of that. And then once COVID ended, we got an extra year. So I was able to go and play at Florida State for a year, which was a really, really cool experience.
Mhm.
Um, I was there for a year in the summer and then ended up the following summer and I got my master's degree and I was able to meet a lot of new people, play a lot of cool places, and I actually really loved it. So I was really grateful for my entire college experience, and I'm just glad that I got to do that.
Awesome. And just kind of touching on there, you mentioned you played through COVID. What was that experience like? I mean, did it come to a stop, or were you still able to play under different circumstances? Um,
Um, my sophomore year, it definitely came to a stop. We were about to play in playoffs, I believe, and our season just got cut short that day. We were playing later in that afternoon, and they said we weren't playing that day, and then we ended up having to just go home. And then the following year, like my entire junior year, we only played 10 games,
right.
and it was a really, really rough experience just playing and having to go back and forth between in the hotel, out of the hotel, because like every time that someone got COVID, we had to go quarantine in this hotel for 2.5 weeks. So that was really hard, very big momentum stopper, and it was hard for us to like continue our season when we had to stop so many times. But we powered through, and we ended up playing really, really well that year. Um, but it was definitely a really tough year on everybody.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, as tough as it was, it definitely doesn't look like it's slowed you down or stopped you. I mean, now that you've had a couple of seasons over in Britain, you started with the Leicester Riders, so obviously that was the next step for yourself. How was that season? How did you find it being in Britain, and maybe compared to the US?
I loved it. I mean, it was definitely a different experience just because it's a whole new country, a whole new place, all new people. But I really, really loved it there. I have nothing bad to say. I loved all of my teammates, all of my coaches. Like the whole experience was so unique too because so many people on our team were so young and we were all trying to figure it out all at the same time. So it was really cool to like go through that with all of the people on my team and us doing so well as such a young team was very unexpected, but it was really exciting to be in a situation like that and I like loved every second of it.
Good, good. I mean, and then again, to take another step, you've stayed over. You've switched teams. Obviously, the summer across the leagues was a bit up and down, but can't get my words out. You've secured a place in Essex with the Rebels. You've had a good, great start to the season, I should say. Becoming what it's cementing yourself as one of the top scorers quite consistently. Um, how is being on this team kind of compared to last season with the Riders? Is it different? Is it the same? How can you compare? I know it's early on, but yeah,
It's definitely different. I really like it here too. It's just totally different experiences from each place that I was at, but I love all the girls here and it's like very different because we do have a little bit more experience on our team this year and like it's so interesting to like see how that's so different than like the place that I was like living last year. We lived with all of the girls that were like around my age and like now I'm with girls that are so much more experienced and played for years and it's so cool to hear their stories and where their experiences took them and just playing with a whole different group of girls is so much different, but like it's still a good different. And I like really, really loved playing in both different places. And like this year, I'm really excited to see how we're gonna do because just again a whole new year, a whole new season, and new coaches. And I just think it's so exciting to like be a part of something that you really don't know how it's gonna go and how our team is gonna do. So like it's all up in the air. But I really do like it here.
Good, I'm glad. And again, looking at sort of this season in particular, um, y- the team has made it through to the next round of the trophy, finishing top spot. Um, you're doing well so far in the regular season, 2-1. You've got Durham next. For yourself, now I know you said you enjoy being part of this group and it's a great group of players. Um, having made that step again into your second year in the league, has your sort of goals and expectations for yourself changed? Obviously, with maybe like the step up now that you're grounded. How are you sort of facing this season, or how have you stepped into it?
Well, I definitely want to win this year. I want to win the championship. That's my biggest goal from the beginning. I want to go as far as we can, play as well as we can. Individually, I just want to progress as a player and just see really what I can do and see if I can get my percentages better, get my points better, like help my teammates better, like in just all around ways that like really help us win a little bit better every single game. And like that's really my goal is to try and help my team as best I can and help us win and help us stay consistent and like such a stable team of like throughout the rest of the year. Like just being positive together, like everything that a team wants, like I'm excited to try and help and do.
Awesome. And I mean, for a player like yourself, again, who's consistently uh, being a top scorer, as I've said not so long ago, how important is it for you to have teammates around you that can allow that opportunity for you, allow you to have such great games, but also equally to allow them to have it as well, and to have that sort of tight knit feel on the court and off the court, away.
I think it's so much better to be on a team where everybody's excited for each other and excited for everyone's successes. And like I've the past 2 years I've been in the UK, like I've had that around me and I've actually loved it and been able to support each other. And like I think it helps our team do so much better if everybody's excited about winning and excited about playing for each other and playing unselfish basketball and being able to play with each other to win. And I'm just so excited. Like that's why our year is going so well right now. Like we're going and spreading the ball and everyone's scoring, everyone's rebounding, everyone's like doing their part. And I think scoring is not the biggest part of this game even a little bit. I think there's so many other factors that really make us win as a whole, and like everybody does their role and everyone does their job, and I think it's just like coming together right now, and I hope that it continues.
Yeah, I mean, it so far, as I said, I've watched a few of the games, and it looks like so far it's going in the right direction. So long may it continue. Um, going back to a video I watched just the other day, I think you were doing an interview while you were at Leicester. So you've come from quite the sporting background. Um, was it always basketball that you had your eye on, or was there maybe options for other paths? I'm curious to know.
I think when I was younger, my parents let me pick as many sports as I wanted to do just so I could see, okay, what do I really like and what do I really not like, or what do I, and I'm really grateful they allowed me to do that. So, like, I played a bunch of different sports when I was younger, and then through high school, I played volleyball, basketball, and track. And I did that for all 4 years. And then I ran track in college too at Bucknell for a couple years. And I think that was like really great for me because I was able to not get burnt out. I feel like that's a big thing for athletes nowadays. Like people just get tired of it. And like I still love playing basketball and I
Mhm.
look forward to it every day, every season. Like it's just such a new and exciting thing every year, especially playing in different places. Like I want to keep playing all over the world and I want to keep moving and finding new places and traveling, and I think it just gives it so much enjoyment of going places that you don't know what you're going to expect or what's going to be the dynamic like, and you just can make your own like year great in different ways wherever you're at.
Yeah.
And I think them doing that. Like I loved doing all of the sports that I did all throughout high school, and I met all these new people and went all these different places and was able to like I was definitely tired from running around and doing all types of different like meets and tournaments and
Yeah,
volleyball games, but like I'm really grateful that I was able to do that and had the opportunity to do that. And I think the only sport that I was really like considering playing again, like taking really really seriously, was track, just because I was good at track, but I didn't love it like I loved basketball. And I played AAU basketball and I like really really liked it, and I just tried to continue it like throughout the rest of my career. And I was getting a lot of offers for basketball. I wasn't really getting many for track, but I also wasn't focusing on track the way that I was basketball, so that like
yeah,
made a lot of sense. But yeah, it just depended on the school. And then I got the opportunity to run in college too. Well, to do high jump in college, and I loved it. And I did it when basketball season ended. It was the best thing ever.
great. It's quite the resume you've got there with the different sports. So that's brilliant.
Thank you.
Um, yeah, no, it's I too am someone who loves sports.
There
Um,
you
yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, you touched there on traveling and having the opportunity to see different countries and different parts of the world. Like, is is it something that you kind of are you an individual that kind of looks to that, or at the moment you're living for the now, focusing on this season? Have you given other areas a thought? Maybe got a list of places you like
I
to
mean,
be?
I feel like my whole life I've been like, okay, I want to play overseas and I want to go play in Spain and I want to go play somewhere where it's warm, where it's really cool, and just like travel as many places as I can. So like I feel like I've had like places in my head where I'm like, okay, I want to like go here for a year, go here for a year, like see what's over here. Like, and I feel like, but because I was so like, I didn't really know what to expect overseas. So I was like, okay, like I like the UK. I want to stay in the UK. So I was like, okay, I'll stay here for another year and then figure it out after that. Like, I really am just going with the flow right now and seeing what opportunities present itself. And like, I'm not looking at anything as like, no, that's not where I want to go. That's not what I want to do. Like, I'm very much in the moment and seeing what I really like and just going with that and seeing if I don't like it, I only have to stay for a year, or you know what I mean? Like I'm just looking for the right opportunity that fits me and where I can enjoy myself and love playing basketball and be successful and like continue to like make my year grow.
Definitely, that's great. And again, we've kind of spoken about being in the US, coming over to the UK, touch on your career for a bit. So I'm gonna kind of take us off track a little bit and something that we like to do on the podcast. Now, if Egg and Eli were with me, who were the two other co-hosts, unfortunately not around at the moment, um, Egg would ask you a question along the lines of um, take snacks from the US and take snacks from all foods, anything like that, drinks from the UK. What would you say wins? Have you got particulars or um, you know?
um, well, I love the food in the US, honestly, just because it's like way more sugary and
Yeah,
like just
that's
tastes
true.
so much better. And like being from Philly and you can't get a cheesesteak around here, I'm really upset about that. But um honestly, like I really like the US foods, but like the UK does have like some secret snacks that I'm like, oh wait, these are really good actually. Like
Yeah.
and the most random things like I genuinely like. Like I'm trying to think. The I love the little custard creams that taste like Oreos. They literally taste like the
Oh
yellow
yeah.
Oreos. They're really good. And then
Yeah.
even just Lucozades taste like Gatorades, but like I like them way better than Gatorade. So
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a big Lucozade fan. I've always got a big bottle of something or multiple. So yeah, I can agree with you on that one.
me too, me too.
Yeah. Um, and again, kind of touching back to life in basketball. What's the changing room like, or just being amongst the players, whether you're training, going on an away trip? What's like the vibes compared to? You can even go from being in the States to Leicester now. How have you found that being in those sort of groups?
I feel like when you are on a basketball team, you just get so close with the people that you're around because you're around them for such a long time every single day, and it's such a small team. So like everyone just gets really, really close. And even like going from like Bucknell to Florida State to Leicester to here, like all of my teammates have been like great people that I've surrounded myself with and like great positive energy. Like there's always like so many people in those groups that like bring so much positivity, and I think that's what I like thrive off of is just people that are around me that like want to make our experience good and make our experience exciting, because it definitely can be, and I know it can be tough at times, but I like love to be around the people that really like want to, yes, this is hard, but like we'll still make it enjoyable because we have to do it anyway. Like,
Yeah,
and I feel like that was like my biggest like support system. Like even at Florida State when like things were hard, like things were very hard, and it was just a whole new lifestyle, and then I got hurt, which made it so much harder for me. But like during those times, like I had like my best friend was there and she was so supportive of me and just kept me looking at the positive side and like supported me through everything. And then all of my teammates last year and all of my teammates this year are like so exciting, and they just like want to enjoy everything with basketball. And I love being around people like that because it makes basketball so much more fun if you actually like enjoy it while you play.
yeah,
And even off court and on the bus, we're singing, we're talking, we're laughing like the whole time, like there and back.
yeah. Well, talking about singing and sort of musical sides, I would you say you're one of the club DJs, or is there someone in particular who's in charge of what playlists go on? Is there anything in particular?
Um, I feel like I don't know. I like to put on the music for everybody, but like I just don't want to like play the wrong stuff. Sometimes it's hard, like in other countries, because they know like so many different types of artists and stuff. But like last year, I was always the DJ in our house, but I always just played American music, so I didn't really know all of the UK music. But they helped me out a little bit and pick some songs. But genuinely, it's me.
That's always good. And again, away from basketball, when there's no training on, or you haven't got a game to focus on the next day, what's something that you like to turn to, whether it's for yourself or with teammates, away from the training court, the arena, any sort of hobbies you like to get up to, days out?
I mean, I feel like around here, like we genuinely go and find different places to eat, find different places to like travel to, or like just because London's so close and like there's like so many different places like around here that we haven't been to, and like going into town, like you can just find so many stores and go shopping and do all types of stuff. So, like, or like even just like us all together, like watching a movie, like we love to do stuff like that. So like I feel like just doing stuff together is really exciting. Or we'll sleep because we're tired. So
Oh, yeah, that's very important, that recovery time. Yeah, I'd probably go for that as well, having
yeah,
a nice nap.
that's fair.
Yeah, yeah. And talking about away days, as again we've touched on, um, again you've had a season here already, in Leicester. Is there a favorite place that you've enjoyed going to, on an away day? Um,
I mean, last year I loved playing at London just because it was such a big like arena and a big like again such good players, and it was this a big test for us, but it was like definitely like more of a business trip. And then this year like going back and playing my old team was like one of my favorite things, like especially because we won. It was a really good game too, and like
yeah,
seeing everyone and playing against everyone was just like last year, and like we're all like talking on the court, like it's just such good like energy, like being around all my old teammates, and it was just like so exciting to see them again.
brilliant. That's a good mix. And to be fair, I feel like we've kind of quite easily touched on a lot of things. Um, Obviously, I've asked you about sort of your ambitions for the season and for the upcoming games. You've got Durham next. They're just 2 points behind you, sat in sixth place. How are you approaching that? Obviously, the league's had a week or so off with the international break, but how is preparation and sort of look ahead for that one going? Is it
I
different
mean,
to the other games?
I feel like we just because we had such a long time off, like we definitely need to refocus and lock in again. So like us having really good practices this week and getting in and working out on our own. Like I worked out every day since, and I'm just excited to really get back into playing. Like
Hmm.
we only get to play once a week, and it's hard. And then when we have a week off, I'm like dying to play a basketball game. So I'm really excited for us to play.
Yeah.
Um, so just fine tuning everything and making sure that we're ready to like play this team, and because this is going to be a good matchup, so we have to make sure that we can hold our own and get the win.
Yeah. And again, something that I like to sort of ask players and people that I sit down and interview. As someone who's obviously still early in your career, but also that you've had experience at different levels. What is some sort of advice you would give to um, are the players at the same level or to the young players out there that are looking to take the same journey and direction as yourself?
I feel like I always just say work hard and be confident. I feel like you can do all the work, but if you don't have the confidence when the game comes, like you really, there's nothing that you can do because basketball's all mental. So like going in and playing with all of your heart, all of the confidence in yourself that you belong there, that you know what you're doing, and you're ready to play against whoever it is. Like you can't doubt yourself. Like going in and playing and like coming from a mid-major school to a high major school, like when I was in college, like playing against people at Florida State, I was like terrified playing against all of these big names. And I was like, I'm here for a reason. I got here for a reason and was able to play with these big names and still perform well and do well. So like just remembering that and trusting yourself and yeah, just going out and having fun as well.
Awesome. It is definitely all about having fun. I think that's definitely the most important thing to remember. Um, another fun question, kind of just to maybe bring things up to a wrap. Um, again, kind of just to get an idea of teammates you've been on able to share the floor with. If you were to put a starting five together, obviously yourself makes the starting five. If you were to pick another four teammates, who would you go with
Oh my goodness. Oh, I don't know. Um,
if you could?
well, my post player would definitely be KK from Florida State. She was the best post I ever played with. She's awesome. Um, and then I feel like Raven Peoples was my post from last year. Loved her, and she was really, really good. Knew so much, like so smart as a player. Um, I feel like guard wise, and then I need two guards. Let me think. I loved playing with. Let me think. Let me think. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I feel like Tanaya. I loved playing with Tanaya. Tanaya Latson from Florida State, and then um, my last guard. I'm trying to think. I don't know. Defensive mindset type. I feel like defensively, I always had like, oh my gosh, from like way back in the day, like my triple threat team, my AAU team, like Mary Parker was the best because she was like so defensive minded and was like always stealing the ball from everybody. So I think she would be my last person.
Nice, nice. Good,
Uh,
good mix there. And I'll have to do my research to some names I've not heard before. But yeah, awesome. Um, that's it's been great. I gotta say it's been a pleasure to talk. It's been a great interview. We've got through some nice stuff there.
yeah, of
I will again thank you for joining us. I
course.
wish you all the best for the upcoming season, and hopefully, come the end of the season, if this hasn't put you off too much, you'll like to come back and sit down again.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for having me. I really
No,
appreciate
it's been a pleasure, and as always, I've been Ben, and our amazing guest Taylor has been Taylor. Um, shout out to Egg and Eli. Hope to see you guys back soon. Shout out to the Essex Rebels. Shout out to women's basketball, to men's basketball, to American basketball in Florida State. Shout out to basketball in general. There's too many teams and players to list. So yeah, shout out to everyone. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Keep an eye out on socials for everything coming up. There's a lot planned because I have been a bit quiet. But once again, thank you, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.
it. Bye. Thank you.